Real love is a daily act of intention, not a moment of emotion. People get confused because they chase the feeling of love instead of learning the responsibility of love. Feelings are unpredictable. They change with stress, with mood, with seasons, with the world around you. But intention is chosen. Intention is controlled. Intention is what you decide to give your partner even on days when you don't feel energetic, romantic, or emotionally perfect. That's why real love doesn't come from butterflies in your stomach. It comes from the way you move, the way you show up, the way you choose someone even when nothing about the moment is easy. Real love is not measured in how great things feel when everything is going right, but in how you behave when everything is going wrong. People fall into the trap of believing that the spark will last forever. They believe that the beginning, where everything is exciting and smooth and full of attention, is enough to carry them. But beginnings are not love. Beginnings are chemistry, their attraction, their curiosity. Real love begins when that initial spark fades, when the comfort settles in, when both people start showing their flaws, their fears, their habits, their history. That's where intention has to take over. You can't love somebody with only your emotions because emotions don't carry you through rough days, tough arguments, miscommunication, or personal struggles. You need intention to step up where emotion steps back. Intention is waking up and deciding, I'm going to treat you with kindness today even if I'm stressed. It's deciding, I'm going to listen instead of defend. It's choosing, I'm going to show patience where I could show anger. Emotions don't make you consistent. Intention does. You can want love with your heart, but you have to protect love with your habits. And one of the reasons relationships fail is because people stop being intentional once they get comfortable. They think the relationship will run on autopilot. But love has no autopilot. Love requires conscious effort. It requires attention. It requires awareness. When you stop being intentional, the relationship doesn't collapse all at once. It slowly weakens, piece by piece, moment by moment, until both people feel the distance and don't know where it came from. Real love shows up in the smallest actions. It's in how you speak to each other in moments of frustration. It's in how you prioritize each other. It's in how you handle misunderstandings. It's in the way you choose to understand instead of assume. People want big gestures, but relationships are built on small gestures done consistently. A kind word at the right time, a small effort to make your partner feel seen, an apology that comes without excuses. These are the things that make love feel safe. And safety is the heartbeat of real love. You cannot love someone deeply and consistently if they don't feel safe with you. And intention is what creates that safety. Intention also shows up in responsibility. If you know your partner needs reassurance, you don't wait for them to beg for it. You offer it before the insecurity grows. If you know your partner needs help, you don't wait for them to break down. You take the initiative. If you know your partner is struggling emotionally, mentally, or spiritually, you don't ignore it. You step into it and support them. Real love doesn't require perfection, but it demands awareness. It demands presence. It demands effort. You cannot give intentional love while being emotionally absent. You cannot build a strong relationship with half your heart engaged and the other half waiting for the right moment. Real love doesn't need the right moment. It needs the right commitment. When two people stop choosing each other intentionally, the relationship becomes vulnerable. That's when disrespect slips in, assumptions start forming, resentment grows in the silence, and emotional distance becomes normal. The relationship loses its warmth because nobody is feeding it. Love is like a fire. If you don't add wood to it, it doesn't stay warm just because you lit it once. You have to feed it. You have to tend to it. You have to protect it. And intention is the wood that keeps the fire strong. Intention also requires honesty. You cannot be intentional while being dishonest with yourself or with your partner. You have to be honest about your flaws, your needs, your weaknesses, your tendencies. You have to be honest about the areas where you fall short. Real love grows when both people say, here are the parts of me that need work, and then actually do the work. Intention is not about pretending to be the perfect partner. It's about being willing to grow into a better partner. Love doesn't hide from responsibility. It leans into it. Another part of intention is choosing your reactions. You can't love someone intentionally if your reactions are always emotional instead of thoughtful. You have to decide how you want to speak, how you want to respond, how you want to treat your partner in moments of tension. You have to catch yourself before you say something hurtful, before you rush to judgment, before you let your ego take over. Intention is the opposite of impulse. It's the ability to slow down, think, and choose the response that protects the relationship instead of harming it. Real love thrives when both people understand that loving each other is not a one-time achievement, it's a daily responsibility. It's not, I love you, it's, I choose you today, and I'll choose you again tomorrow. Love is not sustained by grand promises, it's sustained by consistent choices. And the truth is, the couples who stay strong are not the ones who never struggle, they're the ones who never stop choosing each other. Respect is the invisible structure that protects the relationship from collapse. You can have love, you can have passion, you can have attraction, but without respect, everything eventually breaks down. Respect is the quiet, steady force holding everything up. It's not loud, it's not dramatic, it doesn't demand attention. But the moment it's missing, you feel the entire relationship become shaky, unstable, and unsafe. Most people think love ends because the feelings faded, but in truth, love ends when respect disappears. When respect goes, everything else follows. And that's why respect is the real foundation. Not flowers, not romance, not chemistry. Respect. Respect shows up in how you talk to each other. You can love someone deeply and still hurt them with your words if you lack respect. People say things in anger that pierce their partner's self-worth and then wonder why the relationship never feels the same afterwards. Respect controls your tongue. It tells you, even when you're angry, even when you're frustrated, even when you feel misunderstood, choose your words. Don't destroy what you want to protect. Respect is choosing tone over tension. A raised voice, a sarcastic jab, a harsh insult. Those things don't just disappear. They get stored. And over time, they build emotional distance. Respect also shows up in how you listen. Many people don't actually listen to understand. They listen to win. They wait for their turn to respond. They want to prove a point, defend themselves, justify their actions. But respect means hearing your partner even when their perspective isn't comfortable. It means acknowledging their feelings without dismissing them. It means valuing their emotions even when they don't match yours. When someone feels heard, they feel respected. When someone feels respected, they feel safe. And when someone feels safe, the relationship strengthens. Respect shows itself in boundaries, both honoring your partner's boundaries and creating your own. A relationship without boundaries becomes a relationship full of resentment. When you violate someone's boundaries, even unintentionally, you tell them they don't matter. When you dismiss their discomfort, you weaken the trust. Boundaries aren't walls, they're clarity, they're guidance, they're understanding what hurts your partner, what they need, what they expect, and how they want to be treated. A respectful relationship is one where both people say, I care enough to understand what you need, and I care enough to protect your peace. Respect also shows up in your absence, not just your presence. Respect is what you do when your partner isn't watching. It's how you behave when you're frustrated with them. It's how you speak about them to others. It's the loyalty you carry behind their back. A relationship is only as strong as the respect you uphold when nobody is around to applaud you for it. A lot of people act loving in public but disrespectful in private. That's not love. That's not partnership. That's a performance. And performances don't build lifelong bonds. Respect is also in the way you prioritize your partner, not by ignoring your own needs, but by understanding that relationships require sacrifice. They require consideration. They require thoughtfulness. Respect is choosing to show your partner they matter through your time, your decisions, your effort. When someone always feels like the last consideration instead of the first intention, the relationship slowly dies. People don't leave because they weren't loved. They leave because they weren't valued. Respect means being careful with your partner's vulnerabilities. When someone trusts you with their insecurities, their childhood wounds, their fears, their weaknesses, that's sacred. Disrespect is using those vulnerabilities as a weapon in arguments. Respect is protecting them, comforting them, and helping them heal. The deepest bonds are built when both people feel emotionally safe enough to show their unfiltered selves without fear of judgment. Respect also requires accountability. You cannot maintain respect in a relationship if you refuse to acknowledge your own wrongs. Accountability is not about being perfect, it's about being honest. It means saying, I was wrong. I hurt you. I should have done better. It means correcting behavior instead of just apologizing for it. Without accountability, Apologies lose meaning and respect fades. People don't need perfection, they need sincere effort. Respect is shown in the way you handle conflict. Conflict will happen in every relationship, but disrespect doesn't have to. Disagreement is normal, disrespect is a choice. Respect means you avoid belittling, blaming, insulting, or humiliating. It means you don't fight to win, you fight to understand. It means you don't use anger to dominate or silence. You use communication to connect, even when the topic is hard. Respect keeps conflict from turning into emotional damage. Respect also requires consistency. You cannot treat your partner kindly one day and carelessly the next. You cannot show love today and withdraw tomorrow. You cannot be gentle when you're in a good mood, but rude when you're stressed. Respect is steady. It doesn't behave differently based on convenience. It's not conditional on emotions. It's a standard you uphold because you value your relationship and you value the person you chose. Respect shows up in trust. When you respect someone, you don't lie to them, you don't hide important things, you don't play with their sense of security, you don't make them feel like they're competing with outside distractions. Trust isn't a gift. It's something you build through consistent respect. And nothing destroys a relationship faster than betrayal, secrecy, or dishonesty. Once trust cracks, it never comes back the same way. Respect is what keeps it from cracking in the first place. Respect is in the way you appreciate your partner. When people feel taken for granted, their love doesn't disappear, but their enthusiasm does. Gratitude fuels connection. Compliments keep warmth alive. Acknowledgement keeps effort flowing. Relationships thrive when both partners feel seen and valued. Respect turns routine moments into meaningful ones because it reminds your partner, I don't just love you, I value who you are. Respect means allowing your partner to grow. It means supporting their dreams, encouraging their progress, and celebrating their evolution. It means not holding them hostage to past mistakes or outdated versions of themselves. Respect is letting someone become better without fear of losing you. When someone feels free to grow, they flourish. When they flourish, the relationship flourishes. Respect is the quiet, powerful force that keeps love standing when emotions shake the ground. Love may open the door, but respect keeps the home together. When people talk about commitment, they often imagine something dramatic, something heavy, like it's a mountain you have to climb barefoot with no water and a backpack full of bricks. But real commitment doesn't start big. It starts small, quiet, subtle. It grows in the shadows long before anybody else can see it. It's in the everyday choices, the little sacrifices, the moments you could have walked away but didn't. Commitment is not the vows at the altar. It's the decisions you make long before you ever get that far. It's choosing the same person again and again, even on the days when you don't feel like choosing anybody. Because love is a feeling, but commitment is a decision. And the decision part is what separates people who experience deep, lasting love from those who keep spinning in circles, wondering why nothing real ever sticks. People love to say they want a loyal partner, a dedicated partner, a partner who stays no matter what. But the funny thing is, they forget that loyalty is not a quality you stumble upon randomly. Loyalty responds to consistency. Respect responds to stability. Devotion responds to kindness. You can't demand commitment from someone who only gets confusion from you. You can't ask for loyalty while offering uncertainty. Human hearts don't work that way. They respond to clarity like plants respond to sunlight. Give them warmth, attention, consistent care. You'll see growth. Give them coldness, guesswork, mixed signals. They will. And then people say, see, they couldn't commit. But sometimes it wasn't their inability, it was the environment. Real commitment requires you to show up fully, not halfway, not when I feel like it, not when things are fun. You don't get to dip your toe in and then complain that the water never gets warm. Commitment is jumping in. It's saying, I'm here and I'm staying, even when it's not perfect. And trust me, there will be days when it's not perfect. Days you don't like each other. Days you misunderstand each other. Days life hits you from the outside, money issues, family drama, work stress, and suddenly the relationship gets heavy. That's when commitment becomes the glue. That's when you realize why you made the choice in the first place. See, the people who last in love aren't the ones who never had problems, they're the ones who outlasted the problems. And one of the biggest parts of commitment is accountability. Not blaming, not pointing fingers, not keeping score like you're in a competition. Accountability is recognizing your role in the situation. It's saying, okay, I brought some of this mess too. Let me fix my part. People think commitment is about holding the other person steady, but real commitment is about holding yourself steady for them. It's about choosing growth instead of ego. It's about understanding that you're not just building a relationship, you're building a future. And futures don't get built if both people keep defending their pride like it's a treasure chest. Commitment also means understanding the difference between temporary feelings and long-term vision. Feelings change, they rise, fall, shift, surprise you. One bad day can ruin your mood but shouldn't ruin your promise. Feelings are passengers. Vision is the driver. If you let your emotions drive the car, you're going to crash every time the road gets bumpy. But when you remember the vision, why you chose the person, what you're building, where you're going, then you learn how to navigate the bumps. You don't panic just because the ride isn't smooth. You don't jump out at the first discomfort. You stay in the car because you know the destination is worth it. A lot of people sabotage commitment because they think it means losing freedom. But the truth is, the right commitment gives you more freedom than you ever had. Freedom from guessing, freedom from loneliness, freedom from playing games, freedom from pretending you don't care when you actually care. Commitment doesn't trap you, it anchors you. It gives you a base to grow from, a home for your heart, a place where your soul can rest. And when you have that, you show up differently in the world. You're stronger, you're calmer, you're more focused, you're more confident. Love built on commitment creates peace, and peace is power. But commitment also requires honesty, not just honesty with your partner, honesty with yourself. You have to know what you want and what you're willing to give. A lot of people commit to the person while hiding the truth from themselves. They commit out of fear of being alone, or because the person is convenient, or because they're tired of starting over. But commitment without honesty becomes a burden. Real commitment is a choice you make with clarity. It's a yes you give with your whole chest. When you say yes with hesitation or hidden resentment, you're planting the seeds of future pain. But when you say yes with truth, you're building a foundation that can hold weight. And speaking of weight, commitment isn't light. It asks things from you: patience, forgiveness, discipline, empathy. It will test your communication skills. It will push you to grow. You can't stay the same and expect the relationship to stay strong. You have to evolve. You have to learn how to listen, not just hear. You have to learn how to love someone in the way they need, not just in the way you prefer. Commitment teaches you how to stretch without breaking, how to compromise without losing yourself, how to stand firm without becoming rigid. It sharpens you. It strengthens you. It matures you. And the beauty is, when both people commit fully, when both bring effort, respect, affection, and honesty, you don't just survive together, you thrive. You become teammates. You become each other's peace, each other's push, each other's inspiration. You create a bond people envy but don't understand, because they think love is what keeps a relationship alive. No, love starts it. Commitment keeps it alive. Commitment is the routine, the repetition, the effort, the consistency. You water the love every day. You protect it. You choose it again and again until the choosing becomes so natural you don't even think about it anymore. And here's the truth that people don't like to admit: commitment is your greatest superpower in relationships. Not beauty, not charm, not flirtation, not excitement. Commitment. Because the world is full of people who can flirt with you, talk to you, impress you, make you laugh, make you feel something for a moment. But the number of people who will stay, who will show up, who will weather storms, who won't disappear when it gets inconvenient, that number is small, rare, priceless. And when you find someone who matches your level of commitment, you've found something sacred, something worth protecting with everything you've got.